Okay, everyone. Um, Today I am going to try and do a little walkthrough of the Alert Tower Honorable campaign. And I'm doing this because campaign, you can see down here at the bottom, yields a lot of good resources, especially the campaign medals. And campaign medals are what allow you to purchase all this stuff in the campaign store, which is very inexpensive compared to the other stores. And typically, I'm able to buy most of it every week. And this stuff can really accelerate your growth. For example, you get 10 of these campaign chests, I think 3 level 3 drone component chests, 10 UR shards, um, I think 50 decor components, both SSR and R chip chests, 10,000 upgrade ore, 30 hero tickets, 30 drone parts, and depending on your base level, give or take 400 million in hero experience, which is all really good stuff. And then if you have leftover, you have these down at the bottom, which are, you can buy just a ton of battle data. I think it's 1,000 times 10K, 10 million battle data, and up to 200 hours or about 9 days of speed ups if you wanted and had enough campaign medals up here at the top. So this is really important, and a lot of people don't quite optimize the way that they play honorable campaign. So going in here, I'm currently at level 45 on the tank, and you have tank, air, and missile, as you know, hopefully. So the first thing is you can start a new level that you haven't beat yet, or if you don't think that you've grown enough to beat it, one important thing is you can always go back a level. And so I could go back and play level 44 if I wanted, and it says this, it won't unlock a new level. So typically, let's say I play level 45 and beat it, then during this same reset, which happens every couple days, I would also be able to play level 46. Now, if I play level 44 again, I only get to play level 44 during this reset cycle of 2 days. However, I know that I will beat level 44 and get all of the available rewards for that. That said, I know by asking some people, Skrill told me that he was able to beat all the way up to level 50 on tank using about a 22 million squad. And my tank squad is currently 21.5 million. So I feel like I have a good shot here. And one of the things I look at is these two numbers right here. Now it looks like since I'm in the red, I'm way underpowered to try and beat these enemy forces. However, that can depend on a lot of things, including your research and different stuff. So a lot of times it's worth trying to shoot above what you think you can beat, because oftentimes you can. Now, another important thing about the Alert Tower campaign is that War Fever does help. So first thing I'm going to do is scout a base. So now I have War Fever activated. And let's go back in and see how I do. Now, I think I have auto battle down here, and I think above, it's either above level or stage 20 or stage 25, you unlock auto battle. So for some of you, you will only have the challenge button, and that looks like your typical, you have to fight. And by the way, you never have to wait for this animation to play. You could, but you can also just press fast forward. So, so I can do it this way. However, since I'm trying to make this quick, I'm just going to go auto battle. And then this is what happens when you unlock auto battle, is it's just going to fight through every single one that you can beat. And you can see down here at the bottom, these are the rewards you're getting. So I'm getting 1 to 2 million in campaign medals for every stage. So, good deal. I got all this stuff. Now I can return, and since I fought the newest level, I now get to play level 46. And we'll just see how I do there. Okay, so that's really good. So now I've completed, it only lets you do 2 stages per reset, but let's go see what I gained there. So I had 80,000 campaign medals before. Now I have 150 almost. So that right there, beating 2 stages of tank, gave me 70,000 campaign medals, which if you do the math, that is 140 hours of speed ups. So big gain there. So now if I go back in, one of the things about campaign is that you can only use heroes once per reset. So the tank automatically selected my tank heroes in my first squad. So now if I were to go to air, it would not be able to take my top 5 tank heroes. And technically you wouldn't want to do this anyway, because the air campaign fights against heroes or fights against squads that are more susceptible to your air heroes. In other words, you want an air squad when you're fighting air campaign. Some of you are in various stages of building your air squad. I am lucky enough right now to have all 5 UR air heroes, and my squad's about 17.4. But here's a huge thing. What I'm going to do is, if you look at my air heroes, DVA, or Kith calls her Diva, she's essentially the Kimberly of the air heroes. She's your best air attacker. And if you look, I have a 20, 10, 10, 20 on gear. Instead of just fighting with my air squad as is, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take Kimberly's gear. I'm going to remove all of it. And then I'm going to go to DVA and quick equip. And that quick equip button automatically selects the best gear you have available. So I just swapped attack gear from attack hero to attack hero. Now I'm going to go back, and my best defense hero is Murphy right now. So I'm going to remove all of his gear. And the best air defense is, at this point, Carly. So I'll quick equip her. And then I'm just going to go back and forth here. So Stepman, is my second best tank attack hero. And I know just by looking at what other people do that Morrison is probably the second best air attack hero. I still have Violet in my tank squad as my second defense hero. And her gear will go to this guy, Lucius. He's defense as well. And then finally, I go to Marshall. And Marshall, I kind of have a mix of gear. I haven't quite sorted that out yet. But I do know that his gear is still better than Schuyler's. I really don't know how to say her name. Schuyler. So, okay, so now I've got all of my best gear on my air squad, and my air squad just went from 17.6 to 19.8. So I've just packed a lot more punch into my air. So now I'll go back to Honorable Campaign, and I'm going to go ahead and fight the newest level because I want to see. Usually, if these two numbers are within about, what is that? If they're within about 4 million of each other, that's a good sign that you should be able to beat it. So, let's see what happens. Okay, perfect. So now I get to play a new level of aircraft. And even again, I'm about 4 million below, but I should be able to beat this. And I should let you guys know that I've been behind on this. I never did this gear swapping thing for campaign till literally like a week and a half ago. And I guess part of that was just lack of knowledge, and maybe part of it was laziness. But it's worthwhile because you can gain so much in the campaign store. So missile, a lot of us don't have a missile squad, or they're very weak right now. And one thing about my missile squad, while I have all the UR heroes, a lot of them don't have any UR gear yet. Furthermore, if you look at this, I'm at 3 stars, 3 stars, 0, 0, 0, and none of them have upgraded skills. Whereas, if I go to my second tank squad, I have Mason, Monica, Scarlet, all with nearly 5 stars, and I know that they have better skills. And then I have Williams, who I'm working on building up. So even though this campaign for missile is meant for your missile heroes to fight, sometimes it's better to just use the strongest heroes you have. So right now, it's saying I'm about 3 million under the suggested power. And I just want to see what heroes I have in here right now. So it's auto selected for me a tank, oops, a tank, and then 2 missiles here. And that's because I've already used up my best tanks and my best air. So these are the heroes I have to choose from, and it's selecting the heroes with the highest individual power. And that's where I'm at with missile, and so it's not perfect, but it's a work in progress. So let's just see what happens here. I'm going to try a new stage. And I think, yeah, see, I'm going to lose this. And a big reason for that is that it's meant for missile heroes and I only have tank heroes. But also, I haven't swapped my gear yet. So I'm just going to look again. So it's Williams, Scarlet. Probably what I should do is sub out this guy for Mason. And then I need to take a look at these heroes and I need to swap my strongest gear onto them. And I'm sorry for the length of this video, but there's just, you kind of have to get through it. So I'm again going to take my best attack gear and I'm going to put that on Mason. I'm going to grab my second best attack gear and put it on Tesla. And this is for me. It all depends on who your strongest heroes are. I'll grab my best defense gear. And I'm going to put it on Williams. And by the way, you should know that the way the heroes are arranged in here, it tells you in order from top to bottom who's the strongest and who's the weakest. But it always puts SSR below UR. So if I look at Williams, 220, 2.2 million. Scarlet is 1.55. I'm just going to check here and see what the gear does to her. So she's still 2.1 million even with the gear. So a weaker hero than Williams. And I know I'm doing this really fast, but you guys will get the hang of it. So this guy is my other defense gear. And we'll put that on Scarlet. And then finally, my remaining good UR gear. And I believe I want to give that to Monica. So now I should have a much better squad power for my missile campaign. Whoops. Let's see. I just went from 14.5 to 16.64 million. Now, given that I am fighting aircraft heroes, since this is missile campaign, and tank heroes are weaker against air, this still gives me the best chance with the gear and heroes that I have. So I think I'll beat a few more stages, but I might, yeah. So in this case, I knew this going in, but I wanted to show you guys. Ideally, what I should have done for the missile campaign is instead of playing level 33, I should have replayed level 32, because at least I could have gotten through all 20 of them and got the most rewards during this cycle, which refreshes in another day and 4 hours. So hopefully you guys can see now, this is kind of a strategy for getting through a lot more of your alert tower campaigns. And I'll show you now. I mean, now I have 210k in campaign medals, and I've already bought out the store for this week besides these bottom 4. So I could buy, let's just see how much I can buy. I mean, I could buy like 200 times 10k is 20 million battle data, which is way more than I need. I can obviously buy all of the speed ups, so that's another 200 hours of speed ups, which I'll probably do, but I'm going to wait until I know that I need them. So anyways, now you know a little bit more about campaign and how to play it. And the only messy thing is now I have to go back in and figure out where all of my good gear is at. I need to put it back on my number 1 tank squad and number 1 air squad, because, you know, I was at 21.5 million. I'm only at 1802 without gear. So it takes a little time. This is a good thing to do, you know, well after reset, after things have calmed down and you're just kind of fiddling around. I often do it late night or the next day or wherever, when there's not a bunch of other stuff to pay attention to. I hope this helps, and you guys can always ask any questions you want. Let me know.